Here's a healthy Mexican-style dish for one of my 2 meals in a day. Fish taquitos in 15 minutes with under 6 ingredients. 2 frozen fish fillets, I use pollock, cheap and mild taste. Run under cold water 3 to 5 minutes, then pat dry with a paper towel. Sprinkle some salt, garlic powder, paprika, black pepper, olive oil in a hot pan. Cook for 2 minutes, flip and cook for another 2. Add to a bowl with 1/3 cup low-fat Greek yogurt, hot sauce, I use sriracha, cup of black beans, 1/3 cup low-fat cheese, I use matzo. Lightly mix your ingredients, then add to a small tortilla, preferably whole wheat or multigrain. Roll like this, repeat 3 times, back in the pan for a minute, cook until crispy brown, and there you go. Enjoy.
Y'all want some Chick-fil-A? Let's make some. So you're first going to start by filleting some chicken breast. That's why they call it Chick-fil-A. Into a baking dish, some pickle juice, milk, and whisk. Put your chicken in and allow it to sit for 30 minutes. In a large bowl, plain flour, powdered sugar, paprika, garlic powder, celery salt, black pepper, salt, some cayenne if it's spicy, and whisk. In another bowl, milk, 2 eggs, and whisk. Heat some oil. Drain your chicken breast. Now let's get ready to fry. Milk and egg, flour mixture. Shake and fry. Get you a griddle or a pan and toast those buns, hun. Okay, right that kitchen looking cute. Cause baby, you done something.
This spinach artichoke dip is always finished within minutes. You will not regret making it. You can sub all the ingredients for light ingredients. 1/2 cup sour cream, 1/2 cup mayonnaise, 1/3 cup of cream cheese. Then you're going to do 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1/3 cup of mozzarella, and 10 ounces of spinach. You want to squeeze out all the liquid. You don't want any liquid left in it. It's going to end up being about 1/2 cup. Then you're going to add that, and you're going to add artichoke hearts, cut them up, and add that to the mix. Then mix it up. I forgot salt and garlic powder. Those are really important. A teaspoon of each to 1/2 teaspoon. And then you're going to mix it, add it to an 8x8 Pyrex. Make sure everything's flat and put it in the oven at 325 degrees for 25 minutes. This is how it comes out. It's so good. Just look at that inside.
Let's make carnitas. First, your marinade. Get a cup or a bowl. Get 3 oranges. Yes, I said orange. Aren't you glad to see me? Remove the zest from 1 orange. The zest is only the skin. If you get the white part, it'll make it bitter. Add it to your bowl. Cut them all in half. Juice them and add it to your bowl. Then get 1 lime. Juice the whole thing as well. And get 1 lemon. And juice it too. Get 5 garlic cloves and add them to your bowl. Then get some Mexican oregano. Nab about a tablespoon. And you guessed it, add it to your bowl. Add a teaspoon of black peppercorns. A schmoof of cinnamon. That's it. A teaspoon of onion powder. A big teaspoon of cumin. Some chili powder. A tablespoon of salt. A tablespoon of sugar. A 1/4 cup olive oil. And some white wine. Then blend it up. Perfect. Now get a pork shoulder. Cut it into cubes. Add it to a bag. And add your marinade. And place in the fridge overnight. Now get a pot with some oil. Remove your pork. Add your pork in some water. And let it cook down till it's reduced and fries itself. Get corn tortillas, carnitas, onion, cilantro.
We're making hot Italian sliders today. Pyrex. Spray it. Buy these. Thanks, guys. In the Pyrex. Provolone. Boom. Slice sweet ham. Make them puffy. Genoa salami. To the party. Pepperoni. Lay them out. Shred some mozzarella. Get it in there. Secret weapon. Spread it on the top buns. Now top them. Stick of butter. Melt it. Couple scoops of garlic whip in the butter. Melt it. Chop a little parsley. Boom. Just 1 clove of garlic. Minced. Parsley. Garlic. Pepper. Scoop of pecorino. Boom. Oregano. Shake it. Whisk it. Let it sink in good. Cover it. Bake at 350. Covered for 10 minutes. Uncovered for another 10. Oh my God. So good. Separate them. Oh my gosh, you guys.
The best pickle that you will ever have is the one that sits on the shelf and gets a little funky.
Let's ferment some pickles, y'all.
This is a very simple fermentation recipe. You cannot mess this up.
And if you do mess it up, who cares? Give it another shot. You will need cucumbers, garlic, and some spicy habanero peppers. Yes, please.
Start out by cutting all your cucumbers long ways.
And then carefully pack your jar.
You don't want to just throw them in there. You want to make sure you got as many pickles as possible.
Next step is to crush the garlic and crush the habanero pepper.
The reason I didn't fill the jar all the way to the top is because I didn't want the other ingredients to float to the top. By the way, I know you're only seeing me cut one of these
habanero peppers, I actually put 2 of them in. What can I say? I'm a spicy guy. Jam your cucumbers in the rest of the way, and then it's time to make the brine. I am going to be making a 3% brine using filtered water and pickling salt. If you do not have pickling salt, you can use coarse or sea salt, but don't use table salt. It will not work. Let's get spicy. You will need coriander, cardamom, mustard seed, dill weed, black peppercorn, allspice, and a bay leaf. Brine goes over the cucumbers, and a pickle pipe will keep the oxygen out. Wait 7 days for these to ferment. You'll thank me later. For more recipes, check out my website, link in bio. Peace in, y'all.
Casserole night, America, let's do it. Melted butter and olive oil, any kind of mushrooms. Mushrooms brown first, and we do not salt them until they're brown. Shallots or onion, a little bit of celery, garlic, fresh or dry bay, fresh thyme, a little flour, white wine.
Smells so freaking good.
Vegetable stock. Any dairy product you like. I'm gonna add milk and cream. Lemon zest. These are peas that I blanched. Look how glorious. We defrosted some fresh tuna. Break it up now with our spatula. 4 words when strung together that are just universally comforting. Extra white egg noodles. Dropping these in salted water. Look, that looks beautiful already. For the topping, soup and oyster crackers. Parm! Boom! Fresh or dried herbs. Into the oven she go.
Hello. Today we're making lion's head meatballs.
First we chop some water chestnuts. Chopping and cooking is my only exercise now. Do 1 pound ground pork, half ginger, soy sauce, cooking wine, cornstarch. Now, mix everything together. You have to mix in one direction. Don't go back this way. One direction.
My secret to make meatballs very tender inside, according to my grandma, is boil them first. Then brown them outside in cooking oil. Meatballs, I'll drain the oil, then we add star anise and green onions. Then add the meatballs back in, add a light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. Then we add some water from the pot where you just boil the meatballs and then braise them with sugar. Ooh, look at that color. This is my all-time favorite childhood dish. Just remind me of grandma. Every time I eat this, I feel like I'm home. I'm with her.
Good morning, everybody. I figured I'd switch things up today with the frittata. Don't get too caught up in what I filled it with, though. That's why these things are awesome. You can put anything that you want in there. Super versatile and good way to get rid of some veggies in the fridge. So I threw mine together, popped it in the oven until it was firm in the center, and that's it. Hope you guys all have an awesome day.
This easy, yeast-free flatbread comes together in less than 30 minutes and uses 5 ingredients. Here's how to make it. Start by whisking together 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and a pinch of sugar until well combined. Then add a half cup of plain yogurt and mix it in. When it looks like this, I like to start kneading it by hand in the bowl for a few minutes. Once it comes together nicely, let it rest for 15 minutes to allow the acid in the yogurt to tenderize the dough. Then cut the dough into 3 even pieces and place them on a floured work surface. Roll them out until they're about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then heat a nonstick pan on high heat and cook the flatbread for about 2 minutes per side. They should puff up a bit and get charred in spots. Then brush the tops with a bit of olive oil and that's it. You can use these just like you would use pita bread.
When I was going about my weight loss journey, I used to make this coconut curry pizza. No joke, this pizza is delicious, nutritious, and filling. You want to start off by seasoning some chicken tenders with some salt and curry powder. Then you want to toss in the chicken into some dancing oil in a really hot pan. You want to cook the chicken about 70% of the way, just because we want it to cook with the curry sauce and not overcook. Then you want to go in with some onions, jalapenos, and carrots and season them the same way we did with the chicken. You can use whatever veggies you prefer. Then I tossed in a hefty amount of curry paste, and to save on like 1/3 of the calories, I went in with some light coconut milk. You also want to season that coconut milk, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for about 20 minutes. You want it to get nice and thick. Re-add the chicken and toss them on whatever vessel of bread that you prefer. I was using a whole wheat naan. This recipe is not in any way authentic, but it definitely hits different. You want to toast them in the oven till they get nice and bubbly. Fresh cilantro and we have final product. Now bismillah.
Today we're making super easy Trader Joe's everything bagels. Start with a cup flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 3/4 teaspoons salt. Stir that all together and then add 1 cup Greek yogurt. These are high in protein and super duper easy to make. Stir.
This is the money-saving dish that you must know. It's called Pinacle tea and you won't need hardly any ingredients and all the ingredients are super cheap. So onions, potatoes, carrots, rosemary, thyme and corned beef. Yes, you heard right, I said corned beef. And a little bit of stock cube, packet stock, anything you want. So prep all the vegetables like this, and all you're going to do is layer it up. You put a bit of oil on the bottom, potatoes, salt, pepper, thyme, rosemary, carrots, onions, corned beef, potatoes, and just season it up as it goes on. Then put a piece of baking paper, or I've used a butter paper, which works just as well. But don't forget, season it and layer it up, bang it in the oven, tin foil for 150 degrees for an hour. Take the tin foil off and the baking paper off, then bake it again 160 degrees for about 45 minutes. Just make sure the potatoes are tender. This will blow your socks off. Value for money, it doesn't get any better.
Okay, now this is a fantastic homemade queso. 2.5 cups freshly shredded cheddar cheese, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, coat evenly, half a tablespoon of butter, 1/4 cup of chopped onion, 1 garlic clove minced. Cook 3 minutes until translucent. Small tomato diced, 13 ounces of evaporated milk, and your cheese. Now add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, and cumin, 4 ounces of fire roasted green chilies, 1/4 cup chopped cilantro, and 2 tablespoons of milk. I also added in some sausage, cause duh. The texture is spot on and the flavor is amazing. What's great is that it stays smooth even when it cools. This right here is room temperature and it's still amazing. After failing my first try, it's that much better. Like and follow for.
Let's make pasta with mushrooms. This truffle mushroom pasta will blow your mind. Ingredients. Start by putting onions in olive oil and butter. Then drop your mushrooms in. Now let the pasta water wash your problems away. A pinch of salt and a scrunch of pepper, of course. Some parsley and heavy cream coated in a soft layer of Parmigiano to make it just gorgeous.
This is one of my favorite things to make for dinner. It's a Chinese 5-spice chicken and it's amazing. I combine 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, and a tablespoon each of oyster and soy sauce. Add some fresh garlic and the most important ingredient, the Chinese 5-spice. This is the brand that I use and I also put in 2 teaspoons of that. I let them marinate with the chicken for at least 2 hours, or you can also do it overnight, and I popped it in the oven at 350 degrees for around 35 to 45 minutes. To make the base, you want to combine 2 tablespoons of honey and a tablespoon of soy sauce. This is what's going to make it really glossy and sticky, and it's what's going to make it taste 10 times better. You want to take it out every 20 or 30 minutes or so, brush in that sauce, place it back in the oven until it's nice and glossy, and after 45 minutes, it's going to look beautiful. It's glossy, sticky, and it's delicious.
Going back to my egg cups because I decided I was going to have a wrap for lunch. So basically taking a carb from breakfast, putting into my lunch. Now, carbs aren't the enemy and I eat carbs, but I just kind of limit them. So anyways, for these egg cups, I am doing 12 whole eggs in a bowl, whisking in some almond milk and getting all of those super mixed up. I personally want to add spinach, tomato, and mushroom. You can add as little or as much, or change out that, or not even add anything. It doesn't really matter, but I'll mix those in, and then I'm just going to evenly divide them into a ham-lined muffin tin. I cook at 350 for about 20 minutes or so until they aren't jiggly anymore, and then I will store them in a plastic container, put it in my fridge, and they'll last. I'll have 2 a day. They'll last all week. Oh, everything but a bagel seasoning, obviously.
Tell me a more iconic duo than short ribs and polenta. I'll wait. My Instagram, Belu's Foods, has more content on the dish and more. Check me out over there as well. Sear off your beef, pull it, and start sauteing some grated onion, carrot, and garlic. Hit it with some salt and pepper, a little bit of flour, always tasting as you go. Pinot Noir and some bone broth, both are pretty high quality. Simmer them down low and slow. Parsley and oregano, 4 hours just about. Go ahead and baste it along the way, and those are good to go. Simmering salted water, get your polenta in there, butter, hot heavy cream, and some Parmigiano Reggiano, and you're ready to plate. These shred like butter, and it's the best.
Want to sear and perfectly cook scallops? Another episode, back to basics. 1 pound dry scallops, no milky brine. Now we have to remove that muscle. See that? That's tough eats. Dry them really well so we can get a nice sear. Kosher salt, just a little bit. It has natural salt because it comes from the sea. Pepper. Heat 12-inch skillet, medium-high heat, 1 minute. 2 tablespoons avocado oil. Heat until the oil shimmers. Now it's stick-free. Sear 1 to 2 minutes. Don't touch them. Now it's time to flip. Sear 1 minute, medium heat. Butter. Prime. Baste the tops with the butter. Remove. Top with the butter. I want to see your chefy skills. Make them and tag me. Want to sear and perfectly cook scallops? Another episode. Back to basics. 1 pound dry scallops, no milky brine. Now we have to remove that muscle. See that? That's tough eats. Dry them really well so we can get a nice sear. Kosher salt, just a little bit. It has natural salt because it comes from the sea. Pepper. Heat 12-inch skillet, medium-high heat, 1 minute. 2 tablespoons avocado oil. Heat until the oil shimmers. Now it's stick-free. Sear 1 to 2 minutes. Don't touch them. Now it's time to flip. Sear 1 minute, medium heat. Butter. Time. Baste the tops with the butter. Remove. Top with the butter. I want to see your chefy skills. Make them and tag me.
Check it out. Today we're making cacio e pepe pasta. That's right, Sergeant Gilbert. It's your time to shine, man. And now let's go. Cold pan, Sergeant Gilbert, and make it really coarse. Let's go, medium heat. Always salt up that pasta water. Drop your spaghetti. After about 3 minutes of toasting, not traditional, but I'm adding butter. Oh yeah. Now before discarding the pasta water, save about 2 cups. Now here I have a mixture of pecorino and parmigiano. We're gonna add some pasta water to this and work it in. Now heat back on medium-high, add a cup of pasta water, followed by your spaghetti. Little shaky shake. When that pasta's just about done, add your cheese sludge. Gently work it in, and voila. A little more cheese if you want. And there you have it, my friends. Sergeant Gilbert should be here. All right. Never fails, my friends. You know I love you, and I'm out.
If New Jersey has no culture, then explain disco fries to me. If you don't know what these are, you're gonna love them. First, make your fries however you wanna do it, doesn't matter to me. Now I'm gonna warm up some gravy I made from scratch using some beef drippings I had from earlier. Just warm that up while we make the cheese sauce. Melt butter in a pan, add some Velveeta, and some milk. Whisk until it's nice and smooth. When the fries are ready, add them to a serving bowl, and pour that beef gravy all over those fries. Now it's your turn, cheese sauce. Add some parsley because it's important to get your greens. Now make sure you grab a fork because you're gonna need it. So if you find yourself at a New Jersey diner after a long night out, make sure you order the disco fries.